Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are in Act 2, Scene 1. If you remember yesterday we got to meet Duke Senior, and he's chilling with a couple of lords of Arden and this dude named Amiens. And Duke Senior's like, isn't it so lovely to live in the woods? We don't have to deal with the court anymore. And then, as guys do, I guess, they decide they need to make fun of the other people that are around them. So they decide that they need to introduce us to the character of Shakesyear by making fun of the fact that he's a really melancholy, emo dude, whatever. So they, the First Lord of Arden, who does this monologue, is sharing some information about Shakesyear, because we can't take a really melancholy dude and introduce him to the audience by just letting him be melancholy. We have to make fun of him because this is a play, and it's a comedy. So anyway, here we go. So Duke Senior was just like, isn't it gorgeous outside, and isn't it nice to live in the world, and hey, let's go kill some deer. And the First Lord of Arden is like, indeed, my lord, the melancholy Shakesyear grieves at that, and in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth your brother that hath banished you. Today, my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he lay along under an oak, whose antique root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag, that had from the hunter's aim taken a hurt, did come to languish, and indeed, my lord, the wretched animal heaved forth such groans that their discharge did stretch his leathern coat almost to bursting, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase. And thus the hairy fool, much marked of the melancholy Shakesyear, stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears. And Duke Senior says, but what said Shakesyear? Did he not moralize this spectacle? And the First Lord continues, oh yes, into 1,000 similes. First, for his weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth he, thou makest a testament as worldlings do, giving thy sum of more to that which had too much. Then, being alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friend, 'tis right, quoth he, thus misery doth part the flux of company. Anon, a careless herd, full of the pasture, jumps along by him, and never stays to greet him. Ay, quoth Shakesyear, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens, 'tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there? Thus, most invectively, he pierces through the body of country, city, court, yes, and of this our life, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and to kill them up in their assigned and native dwelling place. And then Duke Senior and the lords decide that they're going to go make fun of him to his face while they hunt some deer, and thus end Act 2, Scene 1. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more.